Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna roll around.
You ready?
And hurt you.
You're gonna desert me.
Okay.
Today on The Storm, we're gonna talk about the Blair Witch Project. More importantly, the sequel to Blair Witch. A movie that is so arguably different from its original. Comparing them might be the equivalent between comparing Paranormal Activity and Adventure Time. I'm Daniel Nystrom.
And I'm Ian Crumrine.
This is Film Storm? Yeah, this is Film Storm!
Oh, good, I'm here!
Oh,
good.
yeah! In 1999, the world was taken by storm by a film called The Blair Witch Project.
This is my home, which I am leaving the comforts of for the weekend to explore the Blair Witch.
A film that arguably changed the face of horror itself. Cue examples.
Alright, so bye Daniel. Because what you did to Zach, we're gonna leave you here with Colin.
I haven't seen Zach in months.
Yeah, what you did was pretty bad. Alright, you want Chinese?
Doesn't really work with your
Guys, please, you don't need to chain the door again.
bye, Daniel.
Honor system? Oh, Ian left his camera. I'm gonna record some weird stuff today. Oh! I guess Colin is here, like they said. Well, should be okay. I can still record weird stuff even in the dark, you know? Hey, Dan. Ah! Dan, why are you? Ah! 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 And while it did immediately get a sequel, a horrid money-making piece of shit, none of us seem to think about the idea of a legitimate sequel. Sure, there have always been rumors, but rumors are so common that attempting to believe them will be like believing that the Tooth Fairy and Easter Bunny were part of some super elite task force with the job of assassinating the leader of the Taliban. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Much to our surprise, on September 16th, it actually happened. A full theatrical sequel to the Blair Witch Project, simply titled Blair Witch.
What is that?
The guy who uploaded this video said it was from a tape he found in the Black Hills woods. I think that might be my sister.
The first question that crossed my mind after seeing this was, why? I mean, I was excited, but outside of that, it's questionable that the movie would have a release 16 years after. Later. The relevancy may be found in that everyone and their mother now makes a horror movie with found footage. In a generation where we need jump scares and explosions every minute, how can the Blair Witch Project, a slow progressing and jump scareless film, even work in 2016? The answer is simple. We add more jump scares, flying tents, and a time travel paradox. While the Blair Witch Project relied on mystery and long drawn out gut-wrenching horror, the realism is what added to your constantly rising fear. However, to make Blair Witch 2016 relevant, they tried to keep all of the elements from the original and amp them up. They did this so much that they took the slow-paced progression and threw it out for fast-paced horror. What we ended up with was a shell of its former self. At this point, for many of you, you might be thinking, wait, this sounds like a remake. How is this a sequel?
How did you? 2, 1.
Wait, this sounds like a remake. How is this a sequel? We're getting there, don't worry. Blair Witch 2016 was very much both a reboot and a sequel to the Blair Witch Project. By Blair Witch 2016 throwing out the slow-paced elements of the original, minus the plotline, they created an entirely new beast that is more representative of our modern viewership. However, they kept the story relevant to the 1999 film by adding in relationships to the original filmmakers who went into the forest alone and,
Not only did they keep the relationships between the characters prevalent throughout, they also referenced the footage that made up the 1999 movie.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing? Go back to bed. Go.
Okay.
God, I was trying to be part of something. To quickly wrap up, Blair Witch 2016 is not necessarily a bad horror movie. It is, however, a bad Blair Witch sequel, simply because it sold its soul in replace of creating a nostalgic sequel with modern elements of horror. It ruined everything that was great about the original. while making the original relevant to modern audiences. To conclude, we give the Blair Witch 6 out of 10. It has the ability to set up great jump scares, and a legitimate subtle time travel paradox right at the end, which is always a winner in my book. I'm Daniel Nystrom. And I'm Ian Crumrine. And this is the Film Store!